All right, everyone. Jeff here at StopThePirates.blogspot.com. I just wanted to do a quick video. I got this letter in the mail today. I don't receive these much anymore, but it's a letter from a collection agency, and this is from when I went to the hospital a couple months ago. I think 3 or 4 months ago, for a sprained ankle that was really hurting me bad. So anyway, I went in there. They looked at it. They didn't wrap it or anything. They didn't do any X-rays. They go, yeah, your ankle sprained. I got some painkillers, which I needed, and that was like $1,200 because it was like I went early in the morning, and that was cost more because it was somehow after hours or double time or some shit. And this is going to get into why that you really don't need to sign up for any insurance, what they call health insurance, which is really not health, it's sick care, because if you go to these people for anything other than like a sprained ankle or anything, they're probably going to kill you. So, and this guy gave me a whole bunch of like these other, along with like 10 Vicodins he gave me. He gave me antibiotics, which I threw in the trash. I didn't even buy, and then some kind of other weird thing, some anti-steroid, not anti-steroid, but it was actually a some sort of a steroid. I didn't take that. I didn't buy it either. But anyway, what you have to understand is when you go into these public hospitals, that you as the public, as a U.S. citizen, all this is already paid because we already gave them everything. They already taken everything. We don't have anything to pay with. Okay, everything is put into a trust, and it's all prepaid. And so there's nothing to pay with. The debt notes that we have are just for the slaves to pass around. They're slave notes. But I've gotten into that in the past too. But all you have to do as a U.S. citizen is go in there with your all caps name, your legal name, and sign. Okay? And all your health care is free because there's nothing to pay with anyway. You understand? They built the hospital with the public money. They do everything. I mean, it's all put into the trust, and it's all prepaid. Evidenced by the birth certificate bond, and they issue the currency, the Federal Reserve notes, based on bonds that are issued through the Federal Reserve, through the IMF. But anyway, so what had happened was I went in and now they have you sign, as you're leaving, and you have to go sit in from like a lady in a desk, and she's like got her little computer, and she's going. They want to make sure they get your phone number and your address and all your social security number and all this stuff. And then at the end you sign, and I always sign all rights reserved. I don't even sign my name anymore. Just all rights reserved, all rights reserved, all rights reserved. They don't even look at it. Okay, thanks. Have a nice day. All right. So a couple weeks after that, I didn't pay him anything. I go, I don't have anything to pay. I don't have any money, which is true. I don't have any money, and most people don't have any money. They might have some Federal Reserve notes, but that's not money. Those are debt instruments, and they're all borrowed into existence. So as soon as I signed and walked out of there, that was it for me. But what I did, and what they thought I did, is I actually made another contract with them, an adhesion contract, to pay back a certain amount of money to be assessed at a later time. So, and if they tell you, if they send you a statement, that's the statement that they're sending you for. Not for the actual services rendered. That's already paid. But it's a different thing now. It's a whole different ballgame. And then they're trying to collect on that through an administrative process, which is basically what this letter is, and I'll get into that in a second. So, why would you want to sign an adhesion sign a contract with a company to provide you with some sort of a health service? It doesn't make any sense when everything's already prepaid. So it's a scam right off the bat. But anyway, so they sent me a few payments, and I did acceptance for value on the statements. First, I asked them to send me a bill, which I always do. Can you please send me a bill because this is just a statement, and the statement on there says, whatever the amount was, $1,236, and it's in a positive number. I think if I owed you something, it would be negative, wouldn't it? It's like when if you have a bank account and you have $1,000 in the bank, and your statement every month will say $1,000, right? Positive number, and that's what the hospital kept sending me. They're going, you got $1,243 in your account here. I said thank you. I tore off my little statement of portion you're supposed to send back. I signed it. I accepted it for value. Here, this. I'm the administrator of the account. Here, yeah, just go ahead and discharge the debt. Fine, thank you. I acknowledge that I was there and everything's fine. And yes, take it to my exemption account and they'll discharge it for you. Told them where to go and everything. Okay, so that went away. They said, all right, but they're not going to send you a letter saying, okay, we did what you told us to do, and we got made whole. We got the money, but now we're going to try and double dip, and we're going to sell your imaginary debt here. We're going to sell that to a debt collection company for however much they can get out of it. Usually it's 10 to 25% of the actual debt. So these guys have now sent me a letter, and it looks pretty legitimate. And this gets into also notices and administrative processes, because on here it says litigation notice, which anytime anybody sends you a notice, it's a real thing, and you should respond to it, because this is how that works. If you're not a total sovereign and you're not even in the ballgame anymore. But I'm more of a secured party creditor type guy. I didn't make the system, but I'm going to play in it because it's the only one I have, and I'm going to try and figure out how it works. So, litigation notice. Anybody can send out a notice to you too and say you owe me money, or you owe me something. And now, if I don't respond to this notice within 30 days, they'll send another notice, and they're building a chain of events here that can be documented. So if they do decide to sue, they can take that into a small claims judge and have her authorize their administrative process, and then they can go into a higher court and get the judgment. Whatever, I wouldn't pay the judgment even if they got it. So I don't, But it says here, it's a pretty threatening letter. Litigation notice: you have chosen to ignore our previous attempts to resolve this matter. I don't remember getting a letter from you before, so you are hereby notified that a recommendation to file a lawsuit to collect this debt may be the next step, resulting in a judgment entered against you. A judgment is a serious legal matter, and several methods to collect a judgment are available to us. These methods include a wage garnishment against you, your spouse, or your domestic partner. If against a spouse or domestic partner, a court order is required. Levy on your bank accounts and safe deposit box, placement of liens on real or personal property, and or suspension of real estate contractor driver's license under certain circumstances. So they're telling me they're going to take all my licenses for this alleged debt. Any of the methods mentioned above can be used to enforce the judgment until the total amount owed is paid. Also, we'll be required to pay this company a 10% interest on the unpaid balance of this judgment, plus any attorney's fees, court costs, and processing fees. Keep in mind, a judgment is a valid and enforceable for 10 years and can be renewed for an additional 10-year period. If you want to avoid any further legal action, you need to contact our office within 10 days of this notice. So they're giving me 10 days. Otherwise, we will assume you do not intend to pay this debt, and litigation will be commenced immediately. Govern yourself accordingly. Sincerely, and it's signed by Dan Sterling, legal administrator. So now I just got off the phone with these people, and it's a boiler room. Anybody that's ever worked a phone room knows, because you hear everybody talking in the background. It's kind of a party atmosphere, a bunch of tweakers, and what I'm not saying. If you ever worked in a phone room, though, hey, everybody's smoking weed at lunch, right? So I called down there and I go, hi, is Don Sterling in? And they go, just, oh, who's calling? What's your case number? I go, oh, I don't have a case. I'm just, he called me about some real estate property or whatever, he's looking at. I just wanted to talk to him real quick. She goes, hang on, please. And she left for like 5 minutes. She comes back. She goes, oh, Mr. Sterling's not available. There is no Don Sterling. Okay, just so you know. So this is a total bullshit letter signed by somebody who doesn't even exist. So who's, this is just, it's bullshit. Nobody's taken responsibility here, just like the IRS does. It's all through administrative process bullshit, and fear tactics and scaring people into doing what they want to do. Now, here's what I'm going to do with these assholes, because I've already taken the charge off that was initially on my credit report. I've already had that removed, and there are ways you can do this. There's over, and you know what? A lot of people won't even do it. They won't even dispute the debt. I've got letters already printed up, Word documents. All you got to do is plug in your name and send them off to all these, to all three bureaus, and you got like an 85 to 90% success rate. Just keep hitting them hard. Don't take any shit from these people ever, because it's all fake. It's all bullshit. Now this guy right here, I've already put this together, but I'm sending him a debt validation package, which is pretty, it's pretty awesome. And once they get that, I'm going to send it, send it in the mail, and make sure I get a green card on it. Make sure I get a signature that they received it. And what is this coming up? Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I got like a 10-page dispute the debt letter here. And under Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and the Truth in Lending Act, they better be on top of their shit, or I can come after them for harassment, and I can sue them in federal court. So, but once they get this, normally you never hear back from them again. So that's it. If you ever get a letter from a collection agency, just know that you don't have any signed contract with them. They're leeches trying to. They're just like bottom feeder. This guy, they say it's a legal office, but it's a. I've known people that work for these companies, and the whole thing is a fraud. I get them on the phone. They really get angry and they get mad. I used to anyway, and they go, "What's your social security number?" I go, "What's yours?" I want to know who I'm speaking with. You could be anybody. You could be a guy in Canada trying to run a scam. I don't know who you are. What is this? I don't even know what this is. Send me a bill. Send me something. What's your name? Who are you? Who are these people? But never just kind of ignore this and throw it in the trash. It's the worst thing you can do, and that's unfortunately what a lot of people do that I try and help, and people that I've run into. They don't do it. They're not into it like they should be. Someone sends you a notice in the mail, grab it and go, "Thank you. I've been waiting for a frickin' notice so I can try some of my shit out. I've got massive files on how to deal with it. Just try everything. Throw it all at them. Just for the hell of it. Just for the fun of it. Call them and bug them all day if you got nothing better to do." I've done that. I want to know everything about you guys. Learn how to get stuff discharged off your credit report. Old accounts. Late payments. It's easy. It's just a game. They started it. We're going to continue it. That's all I'm saying. So, hopefully this helps people. Go to my blog, stopthepirates.blogspot.com. And, if you haven't seen any of my information before, get out there and check it out. And you'll be really surprised of what's really going on out here. My biggest message to everybody is everything is prepaid, and there's no money to pay anything with anyway. Okay? And if you're paying with Federal Reserve notes, or you're buying fake money orders to send these people, or you're writing checks, if you write checks on an account, It's the check that's paying it, not the money. I mean, it's all fake. It's all bullshit. Anyway, go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com. Thanks very much, and have a great day.